the world number 27 and the runner-up at the 2019 World Series of Darts Finals. It's Noppert, Danny Noppert. And his opponent from Scotland, the reigning Masters champion, former UK Open champion, and the reigning champion of the world snakebite, Peter Wright.
I say y'all having a good time out there.
In Helsinki, I know what you're thinking that you can outthink me, but you can't frankly. Don't stop the party. Don't stop the party. I'ma give it to you, now give it to me, I'ma give it to you, now give it to me,
Well, the world champions in playful mood. Peter Wright on the stage on the final day of action here at the Belgian Darts Championship.
Calculator, Mr. Kirk Bevins.
And why wouldn't Peter Wright be in playful mood? Because he's already seen his biggest rival on the European Tour over the years, Michael van Gerwen, dumped out in the very first game of the final day here. That is Paul Nicholson, I'm Dan Dawson. And we'll be talking you through this clash between Snakebite, the world number 2 and world champion, and Noppert, who was the standout performer from yesterday's action. He was superb in beating Jermaine Wattimena. He averaged 108.96, the best average we've seen Danny Noppert produce in a big stage game. Superb stuff. Now, we've seen some significant results in the many years on the European Tour. Perhaps none more so than Peter Wright winning one of his Euro Tour titles, one of his 6, in Sindelfingen, the Glaspalast, beating Michael van Gerwen 6-0. Everybody remembers that. But do you remember how the defence of that title went? You remember, Nico?
Not well.
Thank you,
lost.
gentlemen. First leg is Peter to throw first. Game on.
Having won in Sindelfingen 6-0 against van Gerwen in the final. One of the greatest displays we've ever seen in a Euro Tour final. In 2017, the following year, he went back to the Glaspalast to try and defend his title, and he was beaten 6-5 at this stage of the tournament by that man there, Danny Noppert. It is their, to date, only meeting on the European Tour. This is round 2. Can Noppert repeat the trick?
Yeah, Noppert made the semis that day, if my memory serves me right. Just talking to Peter before he graced the stage. And why wouldn't he be jumping all around when you got lobsters all over your legs? I'm a fan of those trousers. I like those ones.
Yeah. Strong strides from Snakebite.
He was telling me, Dan, that in the practice room, not too long before he had to come out here.
134.
One of the points came out of one of his darts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a good job he said, I've got 3 other sets with me. So he just had to change one of them over.
Well, he did, of course, in Minehead, suffer a point coming out of his dart while the point was still in the board.
140.
And lost that game. They were awful-looking darts. I mean, look, I'm firmly of a mind that all the talk about Peter Wright changing his darts and it being a hindrance to his progress, I don't think it's that big a deal. We've seen him win titles with all different sets of darts. As long as they're sort of similar, sort of straightish barreled. Even the chunkier ones he's quite good, but those ones were horrific. And he lost that game to James Wilson.
What a wonderful first start that is. Looking for the ball to deny Noppert on 47 after 9. Oh! This is delivering this afternoon, everybody. You're enjoying your Sunday lunch right now watching this. You won't find better entertainment than this.
Wow. Danny Noppert kicked off that leg with a 180. And then Peter Wright, ton 40, ton 40, 1-2, 1 out on the ball. That is the sort of stuff he was doing at the World Championship. That's the sort of stuff he's been doing for most of this year. Although yesterday wasn't particularly impressive, it has to be said. And he certainly wasn't impressive on Thursday in the Premier League when he was heavily beaten by Gerwyn Price. What a way to bounce back this would be. Yeah, beat Andy Hamilton 6-2 yesterday, but only a 90 average. Doesn't matter though, does it? You win your first game, you get into the final day, then you turn it on. I mean, how many times have you seen Michael van Gerwen do that?
Well, he's changed colours today on some of the bits of kit. He's got the black flights in,
140.
the black stems. It's a very stealth-looking bit of kit he's using today. He's gone for the red and black, which a lot of people have done this weekend.
I mean, this is probably right up your street, isn't he? He's gone for the sort of the stealth look on the equipment, which I know you like, and he's on red for the final day like he's Tiger Woods.
If only Snakey went to the University of Stanford.
Absolutely, that's a Paul Nicholson playbook, that is. I know for a fact the asset likes that as a tactic.
140.
I think Peter was surprised. I was surprised he didn't make it, but a 1-2-1 left again.
Noppert can't finish now. And if Wright repeats the trick on 121, Danny's going to feel somewhat nauseated.
Back-to-back 12 darters with 1-2-1 checkouts. Could it? Could it be? No. No, it couldn't. Not anymore.
He's going to leave tops.
81.
He probably thinks in his heart of hearts that Noppert's not going to miss tops. He leaves it a lot. He loves tops.
Yeah, on the second leg.
Yeah, Noppert ain't sloppy on double toppy, etc., etc.
Peter to throw
1-1.
Game.
Sounds like a good little rhyme, that.
Yeah, well.
You can make that a section on the dart show.
No, absolutely.
Dan Dawson's limericks about certain players.
No. I mean, look, I could suggest it, but you know the producer as well as I do, and he's going to say no to
100.
Well, I was talking to Peter yesterday after his performance against Hamilton, and he is gunning for something this year. I think the way he's going to handle being world champion is to set himself
140.
different goals every week. And he has set himself a goal for this year on the European Tour, and that is to break Dave Chisnell's average record of 118.66. He wants to be the first person
95.
to break the 120 barrier on the Euro Tour. Now, he has had a 1-2-3 plus, the broadcast record, of course. He's had a 120 plus this season on the Pro Tour. He's also had a 119.5. That was in Exeter, wasn't it? The 119.5.
It was a Premier League night, wasn't it?
The night before he won the UK Open.
In which case it was, yes. Was it against Kim
43.
Probably, because everybody averaged high against Kim.
Yes. I believe that's the case. Yeah, look, Peter is no stranger to throwing those enormous averages. And, you know, winning the Worlds, winning the Masters this year, he's already got a Pro Tour title to his name. I mean, they're silly numbers, aren't they? I know we're only in leg 3, but, I mean, just look at it.
If only the FTSE 100 was that healthy.
Just leave those numbers up.
Don't you require 85.
Oh, I love that. 138.
It's coming down now. Even if Danny Noppert takes us out in 2 darts, it's coming down. Don't need all 3. In fact, he's going to need more than that. And Danny Noppert, he was left 47 after 9, gone out in 13 darts, and then missed darts for an 11 and 12 darter. He might find himself 2-1 down.
419s will give him a shot. Oh, and second time in a row on a 120 plus shot, he's gone left at the requisite target, which is not allowing him a shot for double or bull.
94. Danny require 10.
Well, double 5. 1 for double 2.
6.
Well, Danny
Fiji
Noppert,
require 32.
he was superb yesterday against Wattimena. He's been incredible in the scoring stakes so far.
It's getting a bit edgy.
28.
Peter can't seem to understand why that leg is not over.
4.
They weren't far away. They're both 1 dart from the madhouse.
It's on third leg, Danny Noppert.
Well, it is a break of
Full
throw.
leg,
Danny
Danny
Noppert
to throw
does hit the
first.
front.
Game on.
I'm trying to cast my mind back to last year when we went to Saarbrücken. Didn't Dave Chisnell break the first 9 record? He had something ridiculous, like 136 first 9 average for the match.
Yeah,
57.
he did have a ridiculous first 9 average. It was in Saarbrücken. Was it last year? Was it the year before?
I'm pretty
But
sure it was last year. I have to do
But
some
he
digging
does-
on that one.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can dig that out.
140.
That was an incredible just scoring performance, and yet the overall average wasn't as high as the record that he set with the Euro Tour record of 118 and
58.
change.
The professor's not here this weekend.
No, he's not here. Dave Chisnell, one of the top 10 Euro Tour appearance makers over the years, along with Peter Wright,
125.
Mervyn King, Michael Smith,
Ian White.
Ian White. Ian White was here this weekend, but not for very long. Knocked out by Dirk van Dijvenbode, who we will see in a couple of games' time. An all-Dutch affair with
77.
Jeffrey de Zwaan.
I wonder what kind of amped up walk on we're going to get today. Yesterday was muted from Dirk. I want full Dirk today.
Yeah, it was a muted walk-on, but I'll tell you what, the darts have been screaming. They
83.
have been superb from Dirk van Dijvenbode at the start of 2020.
You had a chat with him yesterday. I had one with him after the match, and he was talking so much about making the Sunday. Now that he's done that, I think maybe the shackles are off a little bit.
Peter 153.
Now, can Wright get the 153? It's possible. Again, he goes left on the treble 19 shot. 86 left.
Well, there have not been many stray darts from either player in this, but Peter Wright has thrown 3 stray darts, and they've all been in
121.
combination finishes at the end of the
170.
leg.
Can Noppy, well, he can't do what Ryan Searle did last night against Mensah Sudovic and taking the 170 out.
98. Peter require 32.
Can't afford to do what he did last time around when he was here, which is split all 3.
Yes, on the
And he
fourth
doesn't.
leg, Peter Wright. Fifth leg is Peter to throw first.
Well, that's the break back that Peter Wright needed. Danny Noppert knows that it's an opportunity missed. He has beaten Peter Wright on another occasion, other than that Euro Tour victory a couple of years ago in Sindelfingen.
180.
But the last 3 times have all been won by Peter Wright. They were all won towards the back end of last year as well. So recent history says Peter Wright goes on and wins this. But you can't discount Noppy, who's been very, very solid so far this year.
We do know that it's going to be Merv versus Michael Smith.
A former Sindelfingen final, that.
Yes.
60.
There's Team Wright. Joe and Paul. But this section, which is also in the top half, of course, Wright or Noppert
60.
versus Cross or Ratajski. That's pretty delicious.
It really is. And I don't know who you make as favourite between Cross and Ratajski in that one. Cross is the lower seed, but is higher ranked. He is
got
the
a coin
European
to flip.
champion. Well, I think from this year, the thing is, you know what you're going to get with Ratajski, and with Rob, you're not quite sure. It could be amazing, but it could be not as good as Ratajski.
If you look at the grey areas of yesterday's game for Cross, just get the feeling that he's getting better, and consistency is what he's looking for. There's that left shot again on the 19, but it's a good miss. Especially when you leave double 10.
41.
Absolutely. Well, as I say, there haven't been many stray darts from Peter Wright, but they've just come at significant times. And yet he is still
95.
averaging
Peter
way up
20.
there. We're talking closer to 110 than 100.
It's the World Championship winning double. And she misses this time.
10. Danny Uruguay 146.
So put the cat amongst the pigeons. It's not going to happen. Danny Noppert's turn to pull one left on a combination finish.
52. Peter Uruguay 10.
He's not going to choose to split this. It's a good lie.
Yeah, it's on the fifth leg. Peter Wright.
He sneaks it into the
Fifth leg
green
is
bit
Danny to throw first.
very snugly.
Game on.
Now, there's a lot made about the darts that Peter's using. I'm not sure he's got another type of set with him. I think if he does have any
42.
variations with him, it'll be the same design. Can't really say much about the excellence of the barrels being an advantage for Peter, because Danny's darts are made by the same engineer.
Well, it's all personal
100.
preference, isn't it? And as I say, I think Peter Wright, you know, 3 years ago, when I think for a spell he was the best player in the world, when he did beat Van Gogh in 6-0 in that Euro Tour final and won the UK Open, he was using
137.
different darts. They're similar, obviously. They're a similar shape. Seem like they have the same sort of balance, a similar setup. But I just think if you gave him a straight barrel dart, he'd be able to go and throw 105 average full stop. In fact,
135.
we've seen him throw Phil Taylor type ones and win titles.
I think sometimes with Peter and his experimenting, he wants to get the weighting of the dart right, the weighting of the barrel phase.
45.
He's tested things with weight at the nose end, next to the point, the weight towards the back, the middle. These ones seem to be the right balance, but another change he made during the World Championships was the flight that he was using, and he's gone to the longer stem as well.
134.
Now, against Noel Malikdem, he was using a shorter stem and a stock flight that comes in the box when you buy these darts. But he's gone to a
59.
moulded flight
Peter Uruguay
that has
132.
perfect right angles to it, and he just seems to love them and has used them ever since. Stay there for double six.
Yeah. But that's the
100.
benefit of going that route for the 1-3-2. A lot of people might be thinking, oh, he's going to go bull, double 16, but straight ton leaves you on double 16. You've got the option of going that way if your opponent's not on a finish.
94.
Sensible choice.
Peter Uruguay 32.
Inching closer.
Yeah,
Good
it's on the
shot.
sixth leg.
Because
Peter
Danny was
Wright.
lurking on that 1-2-4.
Seventh
Plenty of
leg is
supporters for
Peter to
Snakey
throw
this
first.
afternoon.
Game on.
Nothing strange about that on the Euro Tour. He's arguably the most popular player.
Yeah, certainly. And Danny Noppert may be thinking that his chance has slipped by, because 3 legs into this, he was averaging 130. And
53.
hadn't managed to establish a 3-0 lead. And since then, Peter Wright has just carried on producing world champion level darts, and Danny Noppert has seen his level drop
60.
a little. I mean, it had to. He couldn't keep hitting everything he was going for.
I wonder how many of those things have been sold in the last 5 years.
Well, I'd imagine a fair few. I'm sure it's not just the same handful being passed around.
39.
I was looking at Danny's profile on the internet before this match began, and I've been watching his game since his lakeside days. Big fan of his action. I think it's nice and robotic, repetitive. But if you look at him now compared to when he played at Lakeside, he has lost weight. Does spend a bit of time in the gym, and
97.
he's a very energetic young man. Never looks lethargic. Always looks focused and ready.
Yeah, I mean, even when we've seen him playing in the latter stages of the tournaments, it never looks like fatigue or the long day is getting to him. The only time I can think of where he hasn't really done himself justice at the end of a tournament was probably when he made the TV final back in the last year at the World Series finals. And I think part of that was he was playing in the first big TV final of the PDC, and it was Van Gerwen, and it was in Amsterdam, wasn't it, in his home country. I think the whole occasion was a little bit much. Certainly came across like that. We do get to go to his neck of the woods on the Euro Tour this year. A first-time appearance in Leeuwarden, up in that part of the Netherlands. We'll be playing a Pro Tour double-header just before. Is it before or after? Before, there we go. Just before as well. So 3 ranking events for Danny Noppert to compete in. I assume that he's going to make the European Tour event because we'll have the seeded players and then the top 2 tour card holders from the Netherlands. So he should be there as things stand.
Yeah, it's always nice to play close to home. I don't think Peter knows a lot about that, considering where he lives. He lives in the east of England. Has to drive a fair way to get to anything, really. 5 or 6 hours to Wigan. 4 or 5 hours to Barnsley. And we know what it's like getting to continental Europe, but Tops has missed twice by the same margin.
Danny Uruguay 118.
By that maximum, Danny Noppert has given himself an outside shot.
He's back in this game if this goes. Should be treble 20 first. Correct decision. Tops, he loves it. Oh, no. I mean, his flights aren't even that big, and he's managed to clip one.
40.
Yeah, that was a bad dart from Danny, and he knows it. Nowhere near the target. And Wright gets the reprieve. Missed 10s the last time he was on it, but not this time.
Flag, Peter Wright. Flag is Danny to throw first.
Well, that might have been the chance for Danny Noppert, but he's just lost 4 legs on the spin to the world champion, and it might well be a 4th defeat in a row to Peter Snakebite Wright for him.
58.
I was talking to our commentator Rob Malarkey the other day about design work and things like that, and I referred to Peter Wright's shirt. So I'm amazed that he hasn't tried to make the back of his shirt 3-dimensional yet.
I did, yeah. I've seen those 3D T-shirts and bags and stuff. I'm surprised because they do like a gimmick. I think they'd be quite good.
108.
Nothing gimmicky about that. He's got to win 4 straight from here, Danny Noppert, if he wants to play this evening.
100.
Well, Peter Wright still keeping pace with Noppy despite the Dutchman's 180. And I'm not sure what the bookies are saying about who the favourite for the title is. But with Michael Van Gerwen going out, then the natural on the rankings, Peter Wright should be. But I think a lot of people will be looking at Gerwin Price. As I say, whoever wins this faces Ratajski or Cross. I mean, look, there's just quality everywhere.
Well, a few days ago, I tipped that Michael Smith was due a 9-darter. He got that on Thursday. And you just get the feeling he's due a Euro Tour again.
Well, he probably is. But Peter Wright's going to be very, very difficult to stop today. Danny Noppert, a 72 checkout, will stop him in this leg. Great dart, double 12. Yeah, really nice. 14 darter. And a little bit of a surprise for Danny Noppert. He'd forgotten what winning a leg feels like.
That will make you feel so much better. Those 2 dart combos that just get popped out like that make you feel really good about your game. Make Danny feel a little better. He's of the James Wade type of school. He prefers to leave tops if possible. What did you make of James Wade's shoes yesterday?
Didn't get a proper look at them. So, I mean, we'll get another look this afternoon, won't we, when Wade takes on Aspinall. But, I mean, however, whatever they were like, I very much doubt they were as offensive as those trousers that he had for a while.
I did reference those.
Oh, I thought you might.
The ironic thing is that the trousers that we all despised actually would match the shoes.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you Peter's been up to him in the practice room this afternoon and said, "Where did you get those? I like those." Likes things a little bit bright and sparkly.
100.
Well, his performances have certainly been sparkling at the start of 2020 by and large. A few exceptions, of course, but Peter Wright
45.
looking to underline his credentials as the second most successful player on the European Tour, and indeed the most successful on the Euro Tour that's still in this one. He won't get a dart at the bullseye.
41.
Dear me, it's another one dragged left on a combination finish. I thought we'd got over that spell, Peter.
How many of those have there been? I think is it 5 or 6? There's been just slightly pulled to the left. A 1 going for the 18s, a couple of 5s, and I think 3 7s.
89.
So something to work on potentially for later. But he'll have plenty of time if he gets double 16, which he does. Doesn't even hesitate to get the match wrapped up. Has work to do, potentially, to get the job done as a whole. But if he wants to put his name on the first Belgian Darts Championship trophy, he's done a good job of getting rid of Danny Noppert. But later he'll have to get rid of Christoph Ratajski or Rob Cross. Stay with us. Next game is indeed that match. The 5th seed Ratajski against the 12th seed Cross.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Noppy, Danny Noppert. And into the quarterfinals, it's snaked by Peter Wright. Peter, congratulations. Average just shy of 100 there. Good start for you into this final day of action.
Yeah, yesterday wasn't great. And then I missed a lot of doubles there as well. But I know Danny was, up for the game because he played fantastic yesterday. And thank you to the crowd because I know there's not a lot of you, but the atmosphere is fantastic what you're making. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Snakebite Army always there in big numbers. Give it up for Snakebite Peter Wright.